Hi folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Well, today I'm going to go through how to elasticate a pole. Now this could either be, of course, for the first time, or if you need to re-elasticate one that's already been used and maybe the elastic's worn out. Having said that, if you're in the UK and you buy a brand new pole from a tackle shop, they'll quite often agree to fit elastic for you free of charge. So I would definitely take them up on that if I were you. Anyway, back to elasticating the pole itself. You're generally elasticating through the tip section and the second section down. Now confusingly, these can be called the numbers 2 and 3 section or the 1 and 2 section. It really doesn't matter, it's just the top two sections. The top section has one of these bushes fitted, and that actually comes as that sort of idea, and you fit it onto the top section of the pole, and that prevents chafing on the elastic as it comes out of the pole itself. Elastic wise, I'm going to be using mine for carp fishing, so I'm using this, it says 14 to 16 size. Not quite sure why they call it 14 to 16 or 16 to 18, surely it should be either one or the other. The main thing is, I now go by the diameter, and this is 1.85 millimeters. The blue elastic I use, which is 16 to 18 for heavier duty use, is 2.1 millimeters. The other thing we're going to need is a puller bung, and I've taken one out of the packet over here to show you. This goes in the base of the pole, in here, and fits like that. Now obviously this one's brand new, so it doesn't fit yet, so I will show you how to fit these things. And I'm also going to use a couple of these connectors, which you won't be able to see too well just yet, but it'll become obvious as soon as I've done the demonstration what they're for. The only other thing you need is a pair of scissors and possibly a diamond eye threader. Now all the threader does, it takes the elastic, put it in through there, like so, and now you can drag the elastic through the pole. Sometimes you don't need the threader. You can very often get the thing through the pole, especially if the pole's dry inside. If it's wet, you've got no chance and you will have to use it. But what I'm going to do is thread this through both sections, and then we can think about connecting up. So first of all then we have to offer the bung up to the end of the second section of the pole. As you can see, much too big to go in at the moment, but if I hold that there and just put a mark at that point, what I'm going to do is to cut that. As you can see, I'm going to cut that one ridge back this way, and I'm going to do it with a hacksaw. And just a word of warning, don't cut straight through it because you need this bit in the middle. You're going to have to cut and turn and cut and turn as you go. Okay, I know that's probably obvious, but I have actually in the past, when I first got one of these things, made that mistake and cut straight through it. So there we are, that's the finished article. And just a quick test, put it in. You want it to go a reasonable distance in, because the next section has to go up in there, and it'll probably come to about here as well. So obviously if you're going to do this, you need to be able to clear the second section on this. That looks pretty good to me, so we'll move on to the next bit. So here we go then. I've peeled off a couple of meters or so of elastic from the holder, and I'm going to take the top of the pole and just drop it down through. Because this is fairly thick elastic, it will just drop all the way down. Just keep going, and there we go. Okay, so now it's come out of the bottom, and then do the same thing again with the second section. coming out of both top and bottom now. And I'll just pull this back a little bit. There we go. Connect the two sections together. And I've now got elastic coming out of both sections of the pole. So the next thing we have to do is to fit the puller bung. So when you buy these things, they come with these two little bushes here. One with a large hole, one with a small hole. All you have to do is to make sure your elastic goes through the hole with the neatest fit possible, and then tie a knot. You don't want it to pull through, and on that basis I don't use them. What I do is I use an elastic connector, the same sort of thing as we're going to use on the top end of the pole. So here we go then. Take the elastic from the bottom end of the pole, take your puller bung and just thread the elastic through till it comes out of the other end, like so. Insert it into the end of the pole, like so. Make sure there's a couple of inches or so sticking out, and then you can tie on the connector. Take the cover for the connector, thread that on. Take the connector itself, thread that on, form a loop, wet it, because we're going to be tying an overhand knot, simple overhand knot, like so. Pull it down tight, properly tight, with a good old tug. There we go. And now all we have to do is just cut off the tag end. There we go. Having done that, find the cover cap, pull it up over, clip it on, and that's now secure. That's not going to come undone at all. Just grab the top end now, pull the line through so that you've got everything tight to here. Give yourself a few inches of slack and just cut off. So obviously now you can see where the line's going through in the middle, and all we have to do is to fit this connector. Now for this part I am going to fit the pole together because otherwise there won't be enough tension on the elastic. So the tip end then is exactly the same as the other end. Take the sleeve from the connector, thread it on, take the connector, thread that on. Now this time, if I just show you here, that's the elastic completely slack there, as you see. So I generally pull out about that much, and if I now hold it there, you can see if I pull out the elastic, it all goes back in. So the idea is pinch the elastic rather, wet it, form an overhand knot, pull tight as before, and then clip off the tag end as before. There we go. And put the cover cap on. There we go. So now that goes in and all the way back, but it's not under a great deal of pressure, just enough to return it back into the pole, as you see. And that's all there is to it, folks. It's really simple, isn't it? Well, again, that's it for another one, as usual. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, you can. And until the next time, bye for now.